Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Harrison here from Gamma Lens Media, and today we're going to jump into the unboxing of Native Instruments Maschine. Okay, so what we have here is a big box. Some people are really all about the box. I really don't care much about the box, but this is the first time I've ever done an opening, so what we're gonna do is talk about every little thing that I see. I've actually had this for about 2 days now, and I really wanted to just open it up, start working with it, show you guys some tutorials. But some people are really into the opening. Makes it feel like Christmas or something. So first things first, it's a pretty good sized box, which means there's going to be a pretty good sized product underneath. I don't want to rip it. So they put this really like really fancy schmancy like thing on the side of it. Oh, that's why. It's taped to the bottom. Hold on. Just trying to see if and I do have a knife. Okay. So we're gonna be gentle. Just cut this. Maybe that'll work. There we go. Pretty cool. Got a little extra feature saying that it has 10 VST instruments and effects added with it by Native Instruments. Comes with the new hardware. So we got 2 more. Really don't want to ruin anything, but at the same time, I'm not a guy who really cares about the boxes. Except now you have an expensive piece of equipment, you got to ship something back, you don't want to completely ruin the box. You can just blame it on UPS or FedEx and just say they did it. All right, so up. I'm sure this is like the worst angle imaginable, but let's take a peek. This keyboard up, out of the way. So do open this up. Yeah, that's beautiful. So it comes double-sided styrofoam. Got a little box in here. It's probably the cables. Yes. We have a couple of clamps. Oh no. This is for outlets. See, I'm American and we're used to only having that type of outlet. All right, okay, if you're watching this and you're from another country, please explain to me what country uses this outfit for plugging in into the wall, which one uses this one. We'll call this A. B, I'm pretty sure this is some form of European. C, and obviously this is American. This is what we're going to use. Just out of curiosity, how many people, which plugins are for what? So, well, that's pretty straightforward. It's a little clamp right here. Locks in. That's nice. In case you're traveling to another country, keep your little box with you. I'm just going to put it in a drawer. I don't plan on traveling anytime soon, which would be nice. Okay, comes with the standard. If you're looking in here, that's the Maschine Studio. And I went with the black edition. I just thought it would look more sleek. Oh yeah. All right, let's set this off to the side. Underneath, they have kindly hidden Maschine installation, a little pamphlet. Some people might care. I don't. Some logos for Maschine. In case you want to sticker up everything else. And that is everything that's in the box. Set this off to the side. So we have. Set this out the way. For those of you who have never used the Maschine before, I've gotten a little bit of practice time on it. One of my buddies has one, so I was messing around with his, and that's what really inspired me to purchase this. And the fact that my other analog, little, pad controller took a shit on me, so I decided to go ahead and get something that was a lot more powerful. Ooh. That's clean. It's got like a nice gloss touch up where the screens are up here. All down here, it's all metal. It's like a metal finish. Some pretty actually good plastic. Obviously all your ports, power, you plug in your USB, your foot pedals, your Midis, your stands. This is for people you want to stand it up vertically. Now you have that set up vertical. That's everything that came in the box. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over and do a quick little install, kind of show you a couple little features that it has. So we're going to cut to that. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the second part to the unboxing of Native Instruments Maschine. Just going to go over a couple of things. First of all, once you get the product, you're going to want to go ahead and open up your Maschine pamphlet display right here. And it kind of gives you a little bit of instructions. You're going to want to go to their website. You're going to want to find Maschine. Then later on, for the Maschine 2.0 library, and then Native Instruments complete 10 or complete section. It's got about 10 VSTs that they add in there as a bonus feature. It's kind of nice. You're going to hop onto their website. You're going to click on which Maschine you picked up and go to their section on download and install. Once you click on the download and install, you might have a little bit of a pain. Hopefully everything goes through smoothly. It didn't for me, unfortunately. I was very lucky that I went through the hassle of this the first time around when my buddy let me borrow his Maschine. So when you click on this proceed part and then you hit install, it's gonna, you're gonna do your login. I'm just gonna move everything off to the side. That way nobody can really read what I'm doing. But after you log in everything, you put in your password, it's going to let you run the actual install. Once you do that install, it's going to say getting download information. Now this is where I had a problem. when it was getting the download information, it kept freezing and saying, it wasn't able to connect to server. I went over and I, went to the Library 2 installation, and it did it with no problem. So for those of you running into this issue, I unfortunately don't know a way to fix it just yet. I was fortunate enough, my buddy already had the install for me, and he hooked me up. We were running the 2.3 version when he had the machine over at my place, so we just ran through that. So I'll try it a little bit later to see if maybe there's a quick fix, or maybe it was just my internet. If anybody has problems with this, just put in the comment section down below, and maybe we can figure this out. Now we're gonna jump into the Maschine. Well, I'm running Maschine right now. I've used the Maschine before for a couple of different things. I've done some projects on it before, so I know how it works. The one thing that I'm not a fan of is the standalone version. It's cool if you're just using it as a DAW. I really like Ableton anyway, so I'm not going to jump from one DAW to the next. To me, it's kind of backward progress, but if you can use Maschine as a VST as a tool, and it runs great. You just got to make sure to go to your preferences and go to your plugins, and make sure that you get all your plugins installed. That way you can run it. Double click through. Right now I'm just kind of messing around with the Nexus, and I'm going to show you guys the cool features. So first thing when you load up a new instrument, it's going to automatically click over here, which if you could see on the pad, it only works for that. It's kind of strange. So if you click over in this view right here, it's going to allow you to go ahead and use all the key features. One thing when you use a Maschine, this right here is the volume. And it's kind of cool because if you look at your, you look at your mixing window, you can see what you're controlling, how loud you want it. And now I already kind of hooked everything up. So the feel on everything is really good. Like the pads, they feel just like a regular, pad controller would. Soft, sensitive. All the other buttons, I like the fact that they light up. They kind of let you know what you're working on. So I'll brush over a couple of features. I'm not going to go into super detail about it just because, we're going to do tutorial videos on that later. So, but just kind of playing around, I'm just going to kind of show you one of my favorite features with the Maschine. The biggest reason why I bought it is because of the pad mode. So if you click pad mode, hopefully you can see good enough. Right here, you can change your type of scale, your chords to chord set, and you just want to hold it down. So right now, I'm just going to leave it in chromatic. I'm going to go down to chord set, and this is one of my favorite, is just going through the majors and minors. It'll tell you everything here, Now, if you're looking on this window right here, you can see everything that's being played. Let's try to extend this out. Of course it doesn't want to. Now my next investment is going to be into the controller, the MIDI controller itself, the 61, just because it lights up all the keys for you. And to me, that's a really big feature, especially if you're trying to learn how to play, these notes. You can just, oh, hey, what is that? Oh, that's a C major scale. And then you can see it visually, and then you can start to play. Anything that you do, I mean, you don't, I guess you could be a one-button producer, but it's not really going to help you with leads or anything like that in the future. So, I mean, they're kind of guidelines, but enough of that. So back to the pad mode. The big reason why I picked up Maschine. So up here, your octaves. Go back up. Another thing that's really cool is you could go up just by semitones. So, I mean, this is one of the most powerful reasons. I mean, I had a chord pad control that a guy had made a third-party software that it could do these same features, except that one of the biggest problems is you couldn't read, what notes you were actually hitting. You could scroll through everything. I mean, it was cool for its time. The Maschine was pretty much that on steroids plus plenty more, because you can also do arpeggios. You just hold on this note repeat. And then you could change the types, you can go down. And you can go up and down. I mean, there's just so many different things, and I'm going to jump into those later, but I mean, as far as right now, I mean, for the main unboxing, I'm just going to go ahead and put a warning note in there. If you're not computer savvy, it can be a bit of a pain to install, to get your VST plugins, to run in there. I know when I got everything, I was like, oh, hey, let me go ahead and update to the 2.4 edition, because that's what was, the new thing. And I already had the 2.3 on here. And to be honest, when I jumped to the 2.4, it was a big pain. I mean, everything worked perfect standalone, not in Ableton. But as soon as I ran it into Ableton, it didn't want to find any of my VSTs. It was saying that, they weren't there. And then I'd have to reload it up standalone. It would find it, I'd have to refine everything again. And then I was like, I'll see if this works with the VST. So it was just a big pain for not a whole lot more. I mean, as far as I know, they made a couple of changes, but nothing major from a 2.3 to a 2.4. Will I upgrade later? I don't know. Maybe. Right now, I'm right here, 2.3. That's fine for me. Some people, they get lost. Sorry, I was playing around. Some people, they really get lost with these updates. They're like, oh, I gotta have, Ableton 9.17 million. It's just 17 million is better than 9.2, and same thing with your plugins, and same thing with your VSTs or whatever. And honestly, if the difference between a 9.1 and a 9.2 is they're supposed to fix the bugs. They're supposed to fix the glitches, and then they might add a new feature here or there. But sometimes you go and you jump just because you're like, ooh, I want the 9.2, and then you end up getting screwed, spending a couple of days to get everything fixed. I mean, and that's exactly what happened here. I did the unboxing last night, and then I was like, oh, I'm just going to jump in. I'll get everything installed. And honestly, it took me, 4 hours to just say, screw it. I'm going to go back to the 2.3 because the 2.3 worked over the 2.4 with Ableton. And I prefer using Maschine with Ableton as a VST and not as, an actual DAW. Will I do tutorials later on Machine's DAW? Yes. I'm sure there's going to be people wanting to know the features and everything with it. So I'll dive deep into it and everything. But as for me personally, workflow is key, So don't get caught up on, the updates and the next things, because that update, cost me, 4 hours that I'll never get back. And the only reason why, I didn't lose more hours is because I was like, I'll go back to what worked. And that was the 2.3. The other thing about Maschine Studio, the first time my buddy brought it over, it took a long time to get it up and running. Some of the drivers were a little bit of a pain, but this time around, everything was smooth outside of the 2.4 install. So if I were you, and if you had money, honestly, if my buddy did not convince me how powerful it was and show me the features that it had in it, it probably would have seemed more of a headache than what it's actually worth. But believe me, with the Maschine, once you get everything installed on the Maschine, it is completely worth $1,000. $1,000, it might sound like a lot of money, but honestly, if it is a lot of money, hop onto a website like American Musical Supply. That's where I picked mine up, and they do payment plans, they do payment options like that. So a G out of your pocket is tough, but splitting it up into payments makes it a lot easier, especially if you're still learning a piece of equipment, but you can have it here. It's not on layaway or anything like that. So just be warned, you might run into some install issues, and if you can get the actual download or of the program off of the website without any issues like I did the first time, I got everything from my buddy. If it hadn't been for him, I'm sure I would have struggled another 4 more hours trying to figure it out and calling contact service and all the rest. But believe me, it is completely worth it. That's if you're not already in the works for Maschine Studio, or if you don't have a drum pad or something like it. Believe me, these next tutorial videos that I have coming up through Ableton, pairing the Maschine with it, you're going to see it just speeds up the workflow. B, it pulls me using chords that I would never use before, and I'll play them over here, and then I'll come over to my keyboard and pull my leads out of those, and so that's what you want to do. You want to find something that's going to make you creative, and that's it for this. And I'm going to jump into a tutorial video on the Maschine and everything else here pretty soon. So you guys stay tuned. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and take care.